DynamoDB.
Tell me his name again.
Amazon DynamoDB is a fully managed NoSQL database service that provides fast performance at any scale. Today's web-based applications often encounter database scaling challenges when faced with growth in users, traffic, and data. DynamoDB being a NoSQL database, it's fast, flexible, and developers don't need to remember hundreds of SQL commands to get started. Getting started, there are primarily three ways you could operate onto DynamoDB. That are through its GUI, through its CLI, and by writing code. For using the AWS GUI, log into your AWS account and search for DynamoDB. Honestly, getting started with the UI is as easy as subscribing to this channel. Click on Create Table, give it a table name, a partition key, and a sort key if needed. You should understand the point that in DynamoDB, the primary key consists of two parts, a hash key and a range key. Range key and sort key is one and the same thing. If you do not specify a sort key, you will have to keep the hash key unique throughout the table, whereas if you do specify a sort key, your primary key will be a combination of both hash key and sort key, and either one of them can be repeated in the table, but not both. You can do the same through your command line interface by typing AWS DynamoDB, create table, --CLI-input-JSON, then the file path followed by the region you want your table to be created. Here you will create a createtable.json file, and add these details related to your table. Which could be a little bit of hassle, and therefore most of the deserving developers like you choose to go programmatic and do all this using programming languages. Personally, using Python with Boto 3 is the easiest way to get started. Just type pip install Boto 3 to get the latest version of Boto onto your PC, assuming you have Python installed. Then inside any .py file, type import Boto 3 and set our working client to DynamoDB by writing client equals Boto3.client in bracket DynamoDB. Then we will be using create_table function to create a table. Table name of course sets the table name to specified value. Key schema will set our hash key and range key, and attribute definitions will set out data types for hash and range keys. Adding items is similar, just make sure you use the unique hash key, which we will be doing using the UUID and time library. The UUID.UUID4 function will always return a unique string. For getting a particular item using its primary key, just use the get_item function. Moving on to updating a specific item, you will need the ID for that particular entry so as to update it. Scanning a table using the table.scan function gives us all the data present in the table. For starters, this approach is fine, but I would not recommend it for bulky amounts of data contained tables. Rather, you should use query. Here are some examples you could use the query function. Limit equals 1 will restrict our output to 1, and as the timestamp is a sort key, it will be automatically sorted, while scanIndex forward will give us the output in ascending order, giving us the element with the highest timestamp, meaning the latest entry in the table. Let's say we have a age column in our table and want to get all the entries with a certain age. We won't be able to, because DynamoDB only allows getting an item using a primary key. So what to do? We can create a GSI or global secondary index, so as to treat another column as primary key for a query. This primary key need not to be unique. Going to indexes in the GUI, create a new index with any name, but primary key value equal to the attribute you want to query. Querying is easy as the previous one, except we will be adding an index name attribute in our query function. This was DynamoDB as fast as possible for you. This is my first video and I still have a lot much to improve, but your like and subscribe will motivate me to grow and make more such videos in the future.